Interstellar visitor 3I Atlas could actually be alien technology. A professor theorizes it could be hostile alien technology from the dark forest in space. I don't know. It's pretty cool. We're going to talk about it. Hey, everybody. Rex Bear Elite Project. Hope you're having a beautiful day today. Fantastic out here in southern Colorado, high elevation. And the information just gets more fascinating with this 3I Atlas interstellar comet slash possibly alien technology, light cell. Well, we're going to talk about it. So before we get into that, though, I did want to give a huge shout out to our Patreon page. If you're looking for exclusive content, unedited, uncensored, ad-free, check us out on Patreon. We're also doing live streams on Rumble. So if you want to listen to our political ideas and opinions, we talk about that over on Rumble, totally free. And our audio podcasts, Nanu, are available on Podbean. You can download the audio podcasts for free. So if you're on your way to work, doing a road trip, at work, you want to listen to it via audio format, just check us out on Podbean. Download them for free. If you leave me a 5-star review on Apple, that would be fantastic. That would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you're looking for EMF protection, a lot of people are concerned about EMF radiation being exposed to exuberant amounts of different electromagnetic frequencies, from routers to 5G. We even have these Faraday cages for your phone. We have these liners that you can put in your hat. I've actually got one in my hat right now. You can put them around routers and other products that emit EMF radiation. There's one technology in particular that people are being forced to take in their homes now that people are using to block EMF radiation. So check it out, tinfoilcap.co, tinfoilcap.co, the original EMF protection from head to toe. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's go to the first article here. This is from Avi Loeb, which is a Harvard professor. I've actually interviewed Avi before. Really nice guy and very, very smart. He knows his stuff, and his theories are fascinating. His theories are fascinating. So I'm going to do a screen share with you on one of his most recent papers on 3I Atlas. Ack. Great to see everybody. Red Man, Perinthian, as well as John. Thank you for being here. Okay, so this is the paper. And is the interstellar object 3I Atlas alien technology. Now, let's go take a quick look before we get into that. Avi Loeb, as you can see right here, he's all over the web. I mean, he's a very popular guy, very nice guy, very smart. And Avi Loeb is an Israeli and American theoretical physicist who works on astrophysics and cosmology. Loeb is the Frank B. Baird Jr. Professor of Science at Harvard University. Since 2007, he has been director of the Institute for Theory and Computation at the Center for Astrophysics. So, theory is one of his specialties. And he theorized that ʻOumuamua was a light cell probe. A light cell ship, also known as a solar cell spacecraft, is a type of spacecraft that uses large reflective cells to harness the momentum of sunlight for propulsion. Instead of using conventional rocket propulsion, it relies on the pressure exerted by photons, particles of light, from which the sun gently pushes the spacecraft forward. So basically how it works is sunlight carries momentum. When photons strike a large reflective cell, they transfer some of their momentum, creating a tiny but continuous thrust. A solar cell spacecraft typically consists of a small satellite bus, the main body of the spacecraft, and a large lightweight cell made of reflective material like mylar. Now, if it's alien technology, it could be some kind of composite that's literally out of this world. And Avi describes in detail in this paper is the interstellar object 3I Atlas alien technology. He describes that the orbit of this new interstellar object, the way that it's coming in and the way that it's orbiting the Earth and other planets, it could potentially be hostile. Listen to this. This is fascinating. At this early stage of its passage through our solar system, 3I Atlas, the recently discovered interstellar interloper, has displayed various anomalous characteristics determined from photometric and astrometric observations. As largely a pedagogical exercise, in this paper, we present additional analysis into the astrodynamics of 3I Atlas, Nanu, and hypothesize that this object could be technological and possibly hostile. Whoa! I'm thinking of Independence Day all over again because this thing is huge. It's massive, as would be expected from the dark forest resolution to the Fermi paradox. So he's describing that the orbit and where this thing came from, in this theory, it could be hostile. So let's read that again. As largely a pedagogical exercise, in this paper, we present additional analysis into the astrodynamics of 3I Atlas and hypothesize that this object could be technological and possibly hostile, as would be expected from the dark forest resolution to the Fermi paradox. We show that 3I Atlas approaches surprisingly close to Venus, Mars, and Jupiter with a probability of 0.005%. Furthermore, the low retrograde tilt of 3I Atlas's orbital plane to the ecliptic offers various benefits to an extraterrestrial intelligence, since it allows the object access to our planet with relative impunity. The eclipse of the sun, or the eclipse by the sun from Earth of 3I Atlas at perihelion, would allow it to conduct a clandestine reverse solar birth maneuver and optimal high thrust strategy for interstellar spacecraft to break and stay bound to the sun. An optimal intercept of Earth would entail an arrival in late November, early December of this year, 2025, and also a non-gravitational acceleration of 5.9 times 10 to the fifth power astronomical units a day, normalized at 1 astronomical unit from the sun, which is 93 million miles, would indicate an intent to intercept the planet Jupiter not far off its path, and a strategy to rendezvous with it after perihelion. Wow! Alien technology hostile from the dark forest? That's what I'm talking about. So let's look into this a little bit further. This is also another paper that he wrote called Comet on Discovery and Preliminary Characterization of a Third Interstellar Object, 3I Atlas. There is much speculation about the size of this object. A new paper that just came out via Live Science says 3I Atlas is 7 miles wide, the largest interstellar object ever seen, although it's only the third interstellar object ever entering our solar system, allegedly, at least with technology being able to capture it. New photos from Vera C. Rubin Observatory reveal. Now, what's fascinating is, if we look at the images of this object, it looks quite circular. It looks quite spherical to me. It doesn't look like your typical comet or asteroid, and it doesn't have the same characteristics of your typical comet or asteroid. So whatever it is, it's very peculiar. And these images shown here from the Rubin Observatory, all images are in the R-band exposure with the north up, east left, and the anti-solar and anti-motion vectors shown inset at the top left. Look at how spherical this object looks. It's interesting because if we look at all the details right now that we have of 3I Atlas being the third confirmed interstellar object, that's why it's called 3I, because it's the third interstellar object that we have cataloged as a governing body. The discovery and designation, it was discovered July 1st, 2025 by the Atlas Survey Telescope in Chile, subsequently confirmed as an interstellar object receiving the designation 3I Atlas. It's also known as C2025N1. Its hyperbolic trajectory indicates it originated outside of our solar system, tracing its path backwards, suggesting it may have come from the Milky Way's thick disk, which contains older stars. Cometary nature. Observations reveal 3I Atlas is an active comet, they say, with an icy nucleus and a coma. However, there's a lot of information that offsets that. It shows indications of water ice and silicate grains in its coma, maybe. 3i Atlas follows an unbound hyperbolic trajectory with a high eccentricity. Eccentricity. It will make its closest approach to the sun, which is perihelion, around October 29th, 2025, at a distance of approximately 1.4 AU, which is inside the orbit of Mars. Its closest approach to Earth will be in December this year's. Initial observations suggest a potential diameter of up to 7 miles, potentially making it the largest interstellar object ever seen. Avi Loeb disagrees with that on his papers, at least the research that I read. It seems like he disagrees with it substantially, but its velocity suggests it could be very old. Now they're saying it could be more than 7 billion years old because of how fast it's going. Well, it could also be a lot newer, much less, I mean, what if it's alien technology? This to me would make perfect sense if an interstellar probe was flying through the stars, flying through the planets in our solar system, getting all of the data that it can through different scans and technologies, and then bringing that back to home base, wherever home base is. But to say it's a 7 billion year old comet, I mean, the thing's traveling over 100,000 miles an hour. It's going to be traveling up to 150,000 miles an hour when it gets closer to the sun. The thing is smoking fast. It has a very interesting trajectory, very bizarre characteristics, and traditional astronomers are attempting to make it as a comet that's emitting icy particles. I mean, what's more far out, a 7 billion year old comet of ice or alien technology? I don't know. They both seem kind of far out. But anyway, it will be visible through ground-based telescopes until September, will become reobservable in December after passing behind the sun. The Hubble Space Telescope and James Webb Space Telescopes are also scheduled to observe the comet. The study of 3i Atlas offers a unique opportunity to understand the composition and origin of objects from other star systems and provide insights into the formation of planetesimals in different parts of the galaxy. Cool. Well, what I think is also very interesting is ʻOumuamua, because ʻOumuamua, there's so few images of ʻOumuamua. We have all these technologies and all these artist renditions of a piece of flying space poop flying through the solar system at 100,000 miles an hour. Look, everybody, it's space poo. Isn't that amazing? It's a giant turd floating and flying through space at 100,000 miles an hour. Whereas Avi's saying, no, it could be a light cell from an ancient civilization here on Earth or another civilization from another planet. So ʻOumuamua, first identified in October of 2017, exhibiting unusual and elongated shape, a reddish hue, similar to objects found in the outer solar system. Its trajectory and high velocity confirmed its interstellar origin. Despite its close pass by the sun, it lacked a cometary tail, which is also very bizarre, leading to initial classifications as an asteroid before observations of non-gravitational acceleration pointed towards it behaving more like a comet. Its exact nature remains a topic of scientific debate. Yeah, like it could be a freaking spaceship. The second interstellar visitor, discovered in August of 2019, unlike ʻOumuamua, Borisov exhibited the characteristics of a comet, including a comet and tail when it approached the sun. Its trajectory confirmed its interstellar origin. Now, 3i Atlas, the third and most recent discovery of an interstellar object detected in July, initial observations suggest it's also a comet. It's significantly larger than the previous two interstellar objects, estimated to be between 4 and 5 kilometers wide, possibly larger, possibly smaller, depending on who you ask, with the potential to be as large as 20 kilometers. It was observed to be traveling at a remarkable speed, further solidifying its interstellar origin. Wow, that's what I'm talking about. Fascinating. So let's take a look at the different objects here. This is ʻOumuamua. This is like one of the only images we have of ʻOumuamua. An orange light. An orange light. That's what you got. And then artist renditions of space turds. This is the path of ʻOumuamua. They call it a hyperbolic extrasolar object. This is Borisov, the second interstellar object discovered. This is an actual image from a telescope. It's got that blue hue around it. Far different from ʻOumuamua. Let's go back to ʻOumuamua real quick. So ʻOumuamua is like this orangish color. And that could have something to do with the the lens that was used and the technology that was used. Here's Borisov, and here's 3I Atlas. This is Comet Hyakutake, which is possibly an interstellar object. This was the first confirmed interstellar object, though, ʻOumuamua. Now, let's go to, let's take a look at this right here. So looking at all the details of ʻOumuamua, I've gone to the James Webb Telescope Observatory. I've gone to NASA, ESO, and looked for as much information, like actual tangible data of ʻOumuamua. And all we can find is what they're telling us, artist renditions, and like 1 or 2 images. But when you go and you type in, just do a Google search. Matter of fact, I did a Google search, real image, ʻOumuamua, James Webb, because a couple of YouTube videos came up showing ʻOumuamua, allegedly. But then when I watched the videos, all I got was artificial intelligence speaking and little clips taking from other videos, compiling it all together, total clickbait. I don't see any, like this one right here. 7 minutes ago, the James Webb Telescope revealed ʻOumuamua. Look at that. Yeah, that's bullshit. They just showed you more artist renditions. It's all artist renditions, except for an orange light. Isn't that weird? Doesn't that kind of make you question what's really going on? I mean, folks, to think that we're the only intelligent life in the universe that has the ability to create spaceships and technologies, like that is, first of all, quite narcissistic in my opinion, but also quite ignorant. Recent studies show that like our solar system is in this huge void, this galactic void that goes on for millions of miles. So even our galaxy and our solar system appears to be in this gigantic void, which could explain some of the questions with the Fermi paradox. Like, why don't we see aliens on a daily basis in space? Why don't we see spaceships flying all over? Because we're in this void. It's like we're in this do not enter zone, but every once in a while, we get this interstellar object that appears to show up through the solar system, do a quick flyby, and then take off like a bat out of hell. I think it's pretty fascinating. It's like we're in this petri dish almost. But good luck finding a real image besides an orange light of ʻOumuamua. Here's the James Webb Telescope, webbtelescope.org. Go here, look through all the images. Show me ʻOumuamua more than just a dot. Now, also very interesting because the Tic Tac, there's information coming out now where experts are, or claimed experts are saying that these Tic Tacs that the Navy was recording over the USS Nimitz was actually Lockheed Martin technology. But not all Tic Tacs are Lockheed Martin. Some of them are actually alien. I mean, it's just more, it's more like conspiracy theories being thrown out there. But in my opinion, I think it would make a hell of a lot more sense if a lot of this technology that people are claiming to be alien technology are actually ours, human technology, possibly reverse engineered human technology. But the majority of the stuff out there, at least since the 40s, is probably ours that they claim to be alien technology. I mean, what a great excuse. Well, all those people being abducted, they were aliens. Oh, yeah, that technology that you see flying in the skies, that really weird. Because remember, it used to be flying saucers, right? It went from like flying saucers to, rods to now Tic Tacs. Now it's spheres. Have you noticed that there's like this controlled narrative of what these UFOs look like? We look at some of the UFOs that were spotted in the 40s and 50s and 60s of these flying saucers. Many of them have been debunked. There was that one guy that has an entire cult following him. I don't know if he's still around, but this guy created this huge cult, this huge following, and making these claims that these flying saucers were visiting him at his house. And he has these elaborate images and videos, and they look so detailed. They look like giant hubcaps with silver bearing balls glued on top of it. Well, I saw one of this guy's videos. You can go back and look up his stuff. Like even Mulder had a poster on his X-Files wall saying, I want to believe of one of these flying saucers. Well, I want to believe too, but I don't want to believe bullshit. So anyway, the guy that was taking images of these UFOs claiming that they were contacting him and showing up at his house, one of the videos that he did was recently released that shows this UFO, the same UFO that's on the X-Files poster, the same UFO that's supposed to be incredible footage of alien technology. Well, guess what? You can see this UFO flying back and forth like this on the screen because it's on a freaking string. So this guy was putting UFOs on strings, having them go back and forth, taking photos and getting video of it the best that he could to make it look as realistic as he could. He created a cult. And now there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that believe this guy and believe his stories and believe his nonsense and his images and his fake videos. One guy did that. I mean, it's pretty amazing how gullible people are. And I've been that guy. I used to be that guy. I still am sometimes. I fall for things on a regular basis because I want to believe. But you know what? I might fall for it for a minute, but I'll do more research into it and I'll find out what the reality is, or as close to the reality is as possible. Hoodwinked, I think, as they refer to that term. So anyway, ʻOumuamua could have very well been an interstellar probe to scan Earth and other planets in the solar. And the timing's very interesting. We look at the timing of these objects. So here's Borisov and ʻOumuamua. Let's take a look at these trajectories and see how they move. Notice ʻOumuamua comes back and then it takes back off, almost out the same way that it came, but it's heading out towards Aries. Whereas Borisov goes past the sun and then shoots back down. ʻOumuamua does a U-turn. 3i Atlas is moving even faster and is larger and more bizarre than Borisov. ʻOumuamua is right up there with it. Very interesting, very fascinating. Okay, so this is Borisov, Borisov, Borisov. Fake images of ʻOumuamua. Atlas. Boris, ʻOumuamua. A lot of strange stuff. Now, here's the speed that it's traveling at approximately right now. As it gets closer to the sun, it's going to be moving a lot faster in a hyperbolic velocity, which is just under 60 kilometers per second. This is according to the University of Michigan. Hey, Kat, good to see you. How you doing? Mr. Mission Control, Fast Mama Jama. Great to see everybody. David. Yeah, so a lot of very interesting scenarios right now. Subscribe to our Rumble page. It's totally free. So if you want to listen to me speaking uncensored, you definitely want to check me out on Rumble and Patreon, because we have exclusive content over there as well. And we will be uploading those on Podbean via audio format. Get into more of the little political things. You know, obviously it's just opinion, it's just theory, it's just live action role play, but there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Like, did you hear about the new bill that was just passed, or the new law that Trump just passed, where it's basically going to make being homeless illegal? And they're like, oh, well, what we're doing is we've got these places that they can go and they can stay. So like, that's the kind of stuff that has me question, like, really? When did they do that before? There's a certain nation I can think of that did that prior. Very bizarre. Very, very, very interesting. So I'm all for giving homeless people more resources and access to a warm bed and food. And I get that a lot of people that are homeless because they've got some mental opportunities. You know what I mean? Like, I've been homeless. I was homeless before. It sucks. I mean, I was just out of high school. I actually got kicked out when I was 15. I lived on the streets for like 3 months in the summertime. It was easier when it was when I went from 15 to 16. So I was just a kid, because it was like my sophomore year summer I got kicked out. Rightfully so. I'm glad my parents kicked me out. I deserved it. But anyway, then I was homeless for a little while when I was like 19, and it sucked. I mean, I was freezing my ass off. It was super cold out. I was in a bad place. So I get it. But when people live on the streets for years, a lot of times it's because they have some mental opportunities, like I said. So if, I don't know, it's a fine line. We're going to see what happens with this. Like, what kind of camps are they creating for the homeless? You know, I've got some names that I'm thinking of when I think of these camps. Like, oh, well, now being homeless is illegal. We have a beautiful new camp for you that you can stay at. Anyway, I'm not going to say anymore, but yeah, very, very interesting. Also, the water situation is very interesting. According to Newsweek, a map reveals accelerating water loss affecting 40 million Americans. The Colorado River Basin has an extensive loss of groundwater loss over 2 decades, with more than half of the loss being in Arizona, according to a new map drawn from NASA satellite data. Let's take a look at that, actually. I'll pull that up for you. Where's it at? No, that's not it. NASA map, water loss, Arizona. Here we go. Ooh, man. That's bad. That's real bad. I mean, look at that. The Four Corners, almost all of Arizona, got some of New Mexico, a lot of Utah, Colorado, all the way up into Wyoming. So the aliens are coming by to make sure everything's going to be okay. The aliens are like, well, what are they doing today? I mean, did you hear about Cambodia and Thailand? Thailand just sent out some F-16s. Thailand F-16. Thailand, F-16 jets deployed against Cambodian forces as border clash intensifies. Wow. Ukraine, Russia, Cambodia, Thailand. Now we've got, and then just a while ago, it was Pakistan and India. China is getting ready. Like, China is doing all sorts of war games. The U.S. is doing all sorts of war games. It's a tinderbox out there. So ET could be showing up just to make sure, you know, like, have they blown themselves up yet? No, not yet. Let's send the information back to home base. We come in peace. We come in peace. Oh, man. Anyway, so Mr. Mission Control, how you doing, man? 2.5 years. Mr. Mission Control says he was on the streets for 2.5 years. Wow. How is that? I hope you were in a warm place. Because being in places like Colorado and Utah and, you know, different places that get cold in the winter and you're homeless, it sucks. It really sucks. But anyway, that's for a whole other podcast. What else we got? I think that's it for now. I will be doing a live later today on Rumble. So just jump on over to our Rumble page, hit the subscribe button, and you'll probably get a notification when I go live there. So yeah. So I want to thank YouTube for letting me do the live stream here on YouTube, and still love YouTube. I do. I love YouTube. I mean, we've been through a lot together, and it would just be nice if my subscribers would get notifications. Some of you do, like the 1%. But anyway, have a beautiful day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the bell, be well, and be the change you want to see. And keep your eyes out for an interstellar visitor from outer space. It may be like Independence Day soon. Wouldn't that be wild? Oh, man, that would be so wild. Oh, yeah. So I just wanted to share something with you real quick before we finish this up. This was just really cool because y'all know how I love to ride my bike. I ride my bike as much as I can. And a couple of days ago, I did a quick 40-mile ride. Started out in Durango, ended up in Hermosa, and then I went back to Durango. And I'm cruising, you know. I got a pretty good speed going. I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Got a good average going on. And I'm going up Hermosa Hill. You start Hermosa Hill at about 7,600 feet, and you go from 7,600 feet to 8,200 feet in a matter of like a few miles. So you're getting 600 feet elevation in just a short amount of time. So I'm going up Hermosa Hill, you know, cruising. I'm doing pretty good timing. And this guy passes me on the left like he's on an e-bike. And I'm like, what the? And so, you know, I see the guy in front of me. He's got all the full biking gear. He looks like, you know, perfect shape. And I'm like, hey, no. So So anyway, I'm like, all right. So I catch up to him. I catch up to his up to his back tire, and I go, "Hey man, are you watching the tour?" And he's like, "Of course I'm watching the tour." He goes, "I race in the tours." He didn't race in the Tour de France this year, but this guy's racing in like major bike tours, like the Vuelta, which is a major bike race, multiple stages. This guy is like a super pro. I had no idea. So anyway, I catch up to a professional, and I'm riding next to him, and he lets me catch up to him for a few minutes. So we ride all the way up to the top of the hill before it turns into the dirt road and we turn back around. But I'm talking to him and I'm like, "Yeah, man, this is awesome. Thank you so much for letting me, ride with you." And I'm like, usually I am not out of breath when I ride. I can ride up Wolf Creek Pass, whatever. But this guy's freaking smoking. So I'm like, "Yeah, dude, awesome. Oh yeah. And he's like, and he's just totally chill. He's like, "Yeah, man, it's pretty good. I rode in this race and that race." And make a long story short, you think you're cool, your numbers are good on Strava, and then you look at what the pros are doing, and they're kicking your ass. This guy's average time was like 23.5 miles an hour over 90 miles, several thousand feet of elevation gain. And I looked at my numbers, and I'm like, 40 miles, 2,000 feet elevation gain, average 17.5 miles an hour. I'm like, that's okay. But dude, anyway, so the guy's name is, what's the guy's name? Caleb Clausen, super cool guy. He even left a comment on my Strava after, because I told him who I was. I said, "Yeah, dude, I do podcasts." He's like, "I'm a professional cyclist. I do podcasts." So he left I got to show you this comment he left on my Strava. It was pretty cool. Might get a kick out of it. Here, where's it at? All right, stand by. Just a little personal. Pretty cool. Yeah, right here. Okay. So I don't know if you can, here, I'll stop this real quick and show you. So you can see Animas River, Durango to top of Hermosa. And then that's the gentleman, the professional that left the comment, Caleb Clausen. He writes, "Not quite fast enough for the Grand Tours." And then he leaves a laughing face. "Maybe one day." Anyway, it's pretty cool. So I'm 47. He's like in his 20s. So, 20-year difference does make a little bit of a difference. I probably won't be in the tours anytime soon, but my goal is to get up to 20 miles an hour for 100 miles, be able to go 20 miles an hour for 100 miles. If I can do that, I'll feel pretty cool. So I'm just ranting, but I do love the Boomer Boost and Gladiator barley. I take that stuff every single day. If you're looking for really awesome supplements that are like the best of the best, go to boomerboost.com and use the code REX. They'll give you an additional discount. And if you click the link that I left, you'll get an additional discount. And if you set up auto ship, they'll give you another discount. So get some. Oh, yeah. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Be the change you want to see. And thanks for listening to my rant and brag about my bicycling. Although I'm pretty humble, actually, after getting smoked by a professional. So cheers.